Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, depending on where you are watching me from. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Karibu sana. Karibu means welcome. I am super excited. It's a beautiful day. Yeah, very beautiful. It's still spring, but again, it still feels like summer. Today is a bank holiday, and so we are enjoying ourselves over here at home. And I thought, as we continue to enjoy, why don't I come and have a chat with you guys and just give you some wisdom. You all know when I come on here, I speak primarily about the immigration process in the UK. There's different ways that people can make applications to come to the UK. And so today I just want to give you that information. Before we do that, do not forget to subscribe, that red subscribe button, subscribe to my channel and join Team Baraka. And if you are new here, you have never seen me before, you are very welcome. Take a seat over there, make yourself comfortable and join Team Baraka. My name is Sharon Wabaraka. Before I give you this information, I want you to listen to this advertisement from the sponsors of my video, and then we'll continue.
Some people will say, I will invest next year. By the time you are coming to invest, the Great Oasis Garden in Nanyuki, one of the most beautiful property in Nanyuki, will be over. Then you'll be told, the one that James Broad said, ingine huko Segera ya 200. You don't even know where it is. Yet, Optiven, we have put for you the infrastructure, the electric fence we have put, 5 gates we have put in Nanyuki, water recirculation we have done the water, we have done 4 boreholes, we are doing the biggest theme park like in Thailand. Huge theme park on a 20-acre development. Then you miss it. Then you say, I'll buy from next year. Hi there, my name is Dr. George Washuri. I am here to present to you a wonderful place you can build a retirement home. Where else other than Ocean View Ridge, Vipingo by Optiven? This property is well manicured. We have a perimeter wall. We are doing a swimming pool. We just concluded a beautiful entry gate. Only 2 miles to the ocean. Do you want to retire in the coastal region? The best property ever with Optiven.
Oh yes, you heard that right. And what's more, for every 400,000 Kenya shillings that you pay as deposit or installment towards any of Optiven's properties, you get 4,000 Kenya shillings cashback this month of May. Jitambue na Optiven. Call us on 0723 400 500.
All right, so in today's video, guys, many of you have been asking me what other ways can you come to the UK. I've given you tips before about the skilled worker visa, which you all now know if you have been following me, that the shortage occupation list has now been scrapped. It's no longer there, the shortage occupation list, but what there is a new list that they are calling the immigration list, and that list doesn't have a lot of employers like the shortage occupation list used to have. I've given you information about the domestic worker visa for those of you who want to make application to come and stay, to come and come here in the UK on the domestic worker route. Again, I've given you those tips on there. And in today's video, I just want to give you again further tips on other ways that you could make application if you would like to come to the UK. One of the visas that has not been removed, that is still a visa that you guys can apply for, is the spouse visa. And with the spouse visa, what the spouse visa is a visa that you'd be applying to come and join your British spouse who lives here in the UK. So, for instance, you've got married to somebody who has British citizenship and you are outside the UK, and you can evidence that you've got a legal marriage, it's not a scam marriage, it's a real one, and you can evidence that you've lived or you've been in a relationship with this person for at least 2 years, you can make an application to come here on that spouse visa. So your spouse is the one that will sponsor that visa on your behalf, as opposed to finding a sponsor, an employer who can sponsor your visa. So in this particular case, your spouse is the one that's going to be sponsoring your visa. They would need to evidence that they can support you when you come over here. So there's going to be a requirement for them to submit their bank statements and evidence that they have enough income to support you. Um, and the reason why they do that is because when you come here on that spouse visa, you are also going to have that condition that is called no recourse to public funds. So you will be allowed to work and you can work anywhere you want. However, you will not be entitled to recourse to public funds or the government benefits. Those sort of things are not going to be eligible. Even if you have children, you're still not going to be eligible. So your stay here in the UK is dependent on you working. Excuse me, pollen nayo ni nyingi. There's a lot of pollen. So because of the weather changes and because of how hot it is, yeah. Anyway, that's just I just digressed there. So if you have children, you still not be eligible, but you can work and you can work anywhere. That is the good thing. When you come over here, you'd also qualify to get a mortgage. So, if you have a good credit and you apply for a mortgage, you could also qualify to get a mortgage. And so I would recommend for you to obviously, get onto that ladder where an investment ladder where you start investing as soon as you can when you get here in the UK. And that is the other advantage. Um, the other advantage is obviously if you have children, they'll be entitled to go for schools here and you will not have to pay anything. They'll be entitled to medical treatment and again, they will not have to pay anything. But you as an adult, you do pay for medication, only for medication. You don't pay for treatment, but you do pay for medication. And the reason is because you'll have paid the NHS surcharge, which gives you free access to NHS. So that is the other advantage of that visa. One of the things that I have seen with this visa, and I think it is good to say, is that some of the spouses, some of the people that sponsor you with this visa, they end up abusing you because they know they have put in all their investment, their money to bring you to the UK. And I have seen a lot of domestic abuse going on because somebody will be telling you, oh, you're here because I brought you. So they expect you to do more than maybe you're capable of doing. And obviously, when it becomes that abusive, then it is very difficult to sustain even that relationship. So, there are also ways where if you find yourself in a domestic abusive relationship and you came here on a spouse visa, you can apply for what is called concession DV. That means you've fled the domestic abusive relationship because it's not healthy, it's not good, and now you are applying in the UK because you'll be already in the UK for a visa in your own right, a visa that is not tied to your abusive spouse that sponsored you to come here in the UK. And when you do that application, they will initially give you 3 months. They will allow you recourse to public funds if you have children, whilst you're making an application for a longer visa or a visa that will allow you to stay here on a longer basis. And the reason why they give you the 3 months is because they would expect that within those 3 months you can plan and go back to your country of origin, or you can maybe put an application for another visa. You can maybe look for a skilled worker job here in the UK and switch your category if you find yourself in that situation. But basically, they do that so that you're not left without status here in the UK. So I would recommend that if you find yourself in a domestic abusive relationship and you came here on a spouse visa, don't keep quiet. There's way out. There is an escape out, and you're not going to be deported, because some of the abusive partners will be telling you, I'm going to report you so that you can be deported back to your country. And then you get so fearful, you are afraid, and then you end up staying there thinking that this is the end, I don't have an exit. No, there is an exit. And the reason why I am sharing this is because there's many cases that I deal with in my work where I see abusive partners using that excuse of the visa to abuse their spouses that they supported or they sponsored to come to the UK. There is ways out. Do not suffer alone, and do not keep quiet. Again, it depends. Like the spouse visa and the skilled worker visa are very different. So if you come here on a skilled worker visa, even if you have that dependent visa and you find yourself a victim of domestic violence, the rules are actually different. You will not qualify for the DDV concession on a skilled worker visa, but you would if you had the spouse visa. And that is because that one has rights to, you can make an application for human rights, and that is the right to family entitlement. For instance, if you have children, they cannot expect you to go back, because you'd still need to see your children, and your children will still need to see the other partner. As much as they are abusive, they'll still have the right. But when it comes to the skilled worker visa, the rules are different. That is not there, and I don't know why it was never included. And I do know that there's some people who came on a skilled worker visa, they still find themselves on or being abused by their partners, but there's no escape for them. The only escape is to go back to your country of origin and maybe apply again, or maybe find an alternative way of living without being supported by the person that has sponsored you to come to the UK. So that is it, guys. Let me continue enjoying this bank holiday. You may want to ask, what is a bank holiday? It is a bank holiday as it states. Yes, the banks don't operate, but also people who work in offices, government offices, they don't go to work on a bank holiday. Of course, there's still some people who work. People in hospitals will still work. People in the retail industry, they still work, like supermarkets and all that. So there's still some people who still go to work even though it is a bank holiday. But I think they get paid time and a half because it is a holiday. Most people who are employed in government offices, or they do work Monday to Friday, even if it is not a government office, they all stay at home on a bank holiday. And that is what it is today. So we are enjoying. It's lovely. Yeah, enjoying with my water fountain over here. It's beautiful. This is Baraka fountain, by the way. That's what I named it. There is a story behind this water fountain. Yes, story behind my Baraka fountain. But anyway, that is it for now, guys. Let me wrap this video here. I hope I've given you good information that's going to help you to make those decisions as you make your way to the UK, as you make those applications. And until I come back with another one, guys, for now, I say Baraka.